Every creek has a story to tell. Most people never hear it because they are looking at the water instead of looking at what the water leaves behind. The next time you walk along a stream, look down at the edge where the current slows. Look at the gravel bars. Look behind the large boulders. Look at the inside bends where debris collects. If you see dark, heavy sand concentrated in streaks or pockets among the lighter material, stop walking. That black sand may be one of the most important natural signals you will ever find. Because in certain places, black sand and gold travel together. They settle together. And the same forces that trap one can trap the other. Most people have no idea what black sand actually is. They see dark grains in a creek or on a beach and assume it is dirt, charcoal, pollution, or just ordinary mud. Some rinse it away without thinking. Others scoop it aside because it does not look like anything valuable. That reaction is completely natural. The human eye is trained to look for shine, sparkle, and color. Gold is yellow. Gems are bright. Treasure is supposed to announce itself. But nature does not work that way. Some of the most important geological signals on Earth are quiet, dull, and easy to ignore. Black sand is one of them. The dark color comes from minerals. The two most common are magnetite and hematite, both iron-rich minerals that are significantly heavier than ordinary sand. Magnetite is magnetic. You can test it with a simple magnet. If the dark grains jump toward the magnet, you're looking at magnetite. Hematite is not magnetic, but often appears alongside it. These minerals are dense, resistant to weathering, and they survive the beating a river gives to everything it carries. That durability is the reason they matter. When a river moves material downstream, it sorts everything by weight. Light sand keeps traveling. Clay stays suspended. But heavy minerals sink and settle into natural traps, cracks in bedrock, pockets behind boulders, the inside curve of a bend where the water slows, depressions in the river bottom where current energy drops. These are the places where heavy material accumulates. And gold, because of its extreme density, behaves exactly the same way. Gold is roughly 19 times heavier than water. That makes it one of the densest natural materials a river can carry. When gold particles enter a stream through erosion, they do not travel far before sinking into the same traps that catch black sand. This is not a coincidence, it's physics. The river is a sorting machine, and heavy things end up in the same places. Old prospectors understood this long before anyone wrote a geology textbook. They didn't need laboratory equipment. They watched the river. They learned where heavy material collected. And when they saw concentrated black sand, they paid very close attention. Because finding black sand in a stream does not guarantee gold. But finding gold without any black sand nearby is unusual. The two are connected by the same physical forces, and that connection has guided prospectors for centuries. Here's where most people make a critical mistake. They assume black sand means gold is present. That assumption can lead to excitement, wasted effort, and disappointment. Black sand is an indicator. It tells you the river is concentrating heavy minerals in a specific location. It tells you the geology upstream may contain dense material. It tells you that the conditions for trapping gold exist, but it does not promise that gold is actually there. Many rivers have abundant black sand and no meaningful gold at all. The iron minerals can come from ordinary rocks with no connection to gold-bearing systems. Magnetite is one of the most common minerals on the planet. Its presence alone does not make a creek valuable. What makes a creek interesting is the combination of black sand, the right geological setting, and a history or evidence of gold in the region. That distinction matters more than most beginners realize. A creek flowing through an area with known gold deposits, old mine sites, or documented placer history becomes far more interesting when it also concentrates black sand in the expected locations. A creek in a region with no gold history may have beautiful black sand deposits that mean absolutely nothing in terms of precious metal. Context is everything. The same signal in a different location tells a completely different story. This is why experienced prospectors spend time researching geology before they ever put a pan in the water. They study maps, they read old mining reports, they look for quartz veins, altered rock, and historical claims. When they finally reach the creek, the black sand does not surprise them. It confirms what they already suspected. The actual process of finding gold in black sand requires patience and technique. Gold panning works because of the density difference. You scoop material from the stream, add water, and use a circular washing motion to let lighter material flow over the edge of the pan. The heaviest material sinks to the bottom. If gold is present, it will be among the last things remaining, often hidden under a layer of concentrated black sand. Many beginners quit too early. They wash away the lighter sand, see a black residue at the bottom, and assume nothing is there. But the gold, if it exists, is hiding underneath or mixed within that dark concentrate. The final steps of panning require the most care. Tiny flakes of gold can be smaller than a grain of salt. Missing them is easy if you rush. There is another detail that surprises many people. Not all black sand looks the same. Some contains garnet, which can appear dark red to almost black. Some contains imelanite, a titanium iron mineral that can look similar to magnetite but behaves differently with a magnet. Some contains chromite, especially in certain geological settings. These minerals can each tell their own story about what lies upstream. A trained eye does not just see black, it sees shades, textures, and mineral differences that reveal the geological character of the entire drainage. In some regions, certain black sand minerals are themselves valuable. Imelanite is a commercial source of titanium. Some garnet sands are used in industrial applications. The value is not always gold. Sometimes it is information. Sometimes it is the mineral itself. If you are curious enough to investigate black sand on your own property, near a stream, or on public land where collecting is permitted, there are a few things worth knowing. First, always check local regulations. Some waterways are protected. Some require permits for any kind of mineral extraction. Even recreational panning may be restricted in certain areas. Respecting these rules protects the environment and keeps the hobby legal. Second, start with observation before collection. Look at where the dark sand concentrates. Notice the pattern. Is it in the inside bend, behind a large rock, in a crack? That pattern tells you about the river's energy and where heavy material is likely to accumulate. Third, if you collect a sample, keep it labeled with the exact location. A sample without context is just sand. A sample with notes, photos, and GPS coordinates becomes data. And data is what separates curiosity from understanding. The legal side deserves its own attention. In many parts of the United States, mineral rights can be separated from surface rights. A property owner may not own the minerals beneath their land. Public lands may have active mining claims that restrict access. Rivers may cross jurisdictions. National forests, state parks, Bureau of Land Management land, tribal land, and private property each have different rules. Some areas allow recreational gold panning with minimal equipment. Others prohibit any disturbance. Knowing the rules before you start protects you legally and protects the land physically. Digging into stream banks causes erosion. Moving large amounts of material can disturb aquatic habitat. Responsible prospecting means leaving the creek in better condition than you found it. The gold rush mentality of tearing up everything in sight belongs to another era. Today, curiosity and responsibility can coexist. There is something deeper happening when a person bends down at a creek and examines the sand for the first time. It is not just about gold. It's about paying attention to a world that most people walk past without thinking. Every stream is a geological museum in motion. Every gravel bar is a display of minerals sorted by the same forces that built mountain ranges, carved canyons, and shaped continents. The black sand is a chapter in that story. It tells you about the rocks upstream, the history of erosion, the energy of the water, and the density of what the earth produces. Learning to read that story does not require a degree. It requires patience, curiosity, and a willingness to look at ordinary things with new eyes. So the next time you cross a creek and notice dark, heavy sand concentrated in a quiet pocket behind a rock or along an inside bend, do not step over it. Do not assume it is dirt. Do not ignore it because it does not sparkle. That sand may be carrying a message from deep inside the earth, sorted and delivered by the same forces that have been shaping this planet for billions of years. Gold or no gold, the story it tells is worth hearing. And if this changed the way you look at the ground beneath your feet, subscribe to the channel before you leave. In the next video, we are going to look at another signal most people walk past every single day without realizing what it means. Some of the most valuable clues in nature do not shine. They wait quietly for someone who has learned how to see them.